Hello, everybody. My name is Cherelle. I am the CEO of Mama Sassy's Gourmet Foods. Now, yesterday you would have seen a little teaser where I had a special guest make a selection of three of my Mama Sassy products. He was mandated to go ahead and create some dishes using incorporating our products into his meals. Um, with Mama Sassy Gourmet Foods, we have a whole host. We have many products. We have 6 flavors: pepper jams and jellies. We have salad dressings. We have Guinness glaze, and we're also working on some other things that are going to come out shortly. But this chef, I'm going to tell you a tad bit about him. I was following this group, Grand Bahama, that food and dining, and I saw these spectacular dishes that this chef created, and I was like, when I do get to come to Grand Bahama, because I am in Grand Bahama, I'm a Nassau girl, and I always said that whenever I got the chance to come to Grand Bahama, I was definitely gonna look him up and see what he could create. Mama Sassy's Gourmet Food is all about being innovative. We take simple products and we try to think out of the box and create products that are out of the box. And so I want to welcome you right now to meet Chef Enoch Clarke. Hi, Chef.
Hello, how is it going?
Oh, it's going great.
Awesome.
Yeah, so just to give the audience a little background, what inspired you or gave you the passion to get into your field?
Well, it started, I was about 4 years old, and my bedroom was very close to the kitchen. And so the first sounds that I was always awakened with each morning was eggs frying.
Eggs.
Yeah, so like when the cracked egg hits that pan and you start to sizzle.
Yes.
As a kid, that always blew my mind. I was always fascinated by it. I always tell people there's 3 things that really motivated me about food very, very early on. The first thing was eggs, fried eggs. The second thing was mustard. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the color. I don't know, but I've always been fascinated with mustard. And to this very day, I must have mustard on all of my savory sandwiches. Have to. And the third thing that I was fascinated with was celery. I don't know why.
Celery?
Yeah, just love the taste of it.
Celery, oh wow. I wouldn't say celery is one of my must-have flavors.
Yeah. That was my early inspiration, actually. That's what got me into it. And I grew up in Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, which is one of the southern islands. And so there's a big farm-to-table kind of living, because we grew almost everything that we ate as far as vegetables were concerned. So being in the kitchen with my grandmother, Luella Cunningham, and my aunt, Albert Chisholm, it kind of awakened those culinary seeds, and I began cooking at the age of about 12. My first Sunday dinner, it was peas and rice, baked pork chops, and fried plantain.
Oh wow!
I was 12 years old. So I've always been cooking, but over the years, I found the need to start a catering company. A lot of people, they would always say, come and cook this for me and do that for me. And then they want to pay you what they want to pay you, that kind of way. So I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to start a company.
So you actually cater and you're also a personal chef.
Yes, I cater to groups from 5 up to 400.
Oh, wow.
I'm also a personal chef. So most of my clients, I do have some Bahamians, but most of my clients are out of the country. So whenever they come in, they would either call me in advance. They would make preparations. It'd be like just recently I had a family of 7 that were here for 3 weeks.
And you've prepared
I had to prepare breakfast and actually brunch and dinner for them for their entire stay.
Oh,
So
that's
before they
interesting.
got here, we sat down and, we talked about what they expected.
Mhm.
And it was kind of challenging for me because one of the persons had a severe capsicum allergy. They could not have
Yes.
any
Any
kind of
pepper.
pepper. I'm talking like severe.
Yes. Yes.
I mean like not even red peppers.
Yes.
Like bell peppers.
Mhm.
No bell peppers. No white pepper. Um, no black pepper. No kind of pepper. No
You
paprika
had to
or
do a
anything.
special. You have to do.
So so I couldn't have any kind of pepper. And it was challenging because I mean, pepper is one of I guess I found out that it was one of my crutches.
Oh wow.
So basically all of my recipes that use pepper, I had to go in and improvise.
Mhm.
So you had a choice of either doing two different meals or just doing nothing with pepper.
Okay.
And so I opted doing nothing with pepper. And so, yeah, that went pretty well. So I do private chef services as well as catering, like I mentioned, and meal prepping.
Oh, okay. So now you selected yesterday
Yes, I
three
did.
ingredients
Uh-huh.
that you were gonna make dishes out of for our show.
Okay. So what you want to start with?
You go right ahead. You tell
Okay.
us.
I'm going to go.
First of all, your three ingredients were that you selected. He selected the.
One of my selections was the Guinness glaze pepper sauce, which is very, very good. And the mulled wine pepper jelly. And I also selected the cranberry pepper jelly.
That one was the surprise within the surprise.
Yeah, more or less. So, long story short, my approach to dishes is basically the three phases. I like to have a middle, a center, and a back.
Mhm.
Almost like the same way fragrances are created.
Mhm.
So I want have a front note, a central note, and a back note.
Mhm.
And so when I tasted, because I tasted it before I used it, the Guinness is very, 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 very tamed.
Mhm.
So it's almost just a slight bitterness on the end and somewhat earthiness. So I figured that it would go well with mushrooms that I normally do. You want to try?
Mushrooms.
Yeah.
Mushrooms.
I did sauteed mushrooms and
sauteed mushrooms. Oh, in the Guinness glaze.
yeah, and I used all of the ingredients that I would normally use. Fresh tarragon, garlic, a little onion, and what else? White pepper.
Oh wow.
To highlight and I use that as well to bring it together.
And to tell you the truth, Chef, I am so not a mushrooms person.
Oh really?
Believe it or not, but it just smells so delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, I can smell the flavor. I'm just excited. So you know what? I'm just gonna go for it, you guys. And I'm telling you, it just smells. I'm not a mushrooms person. I am so not a mushroom person. So we're gonna see just how this goes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I never thought to use the mushrooms with the Guinness glaze.
Yeah. It has a very earthy.
It has a nice, yes, and the Guinness blends so well with it.
Yes, very much so.
Oh my goodness.
It does, yeah.
And Chef, you're gonna give us the recipes?
Most definitely.
Please? Oh.
Most definitely. And the second one that I had was the mulled wine pepper jelly. And when I first heard about this, I heard about it first, and I was hoping that it was one that I would have selected.
And you did.
Because the pickled red cabbage is one of our staples at the restaurant that I work at currently, the Q Lounge, as well as in my catering business. And when I want to make it really, really fancy, I always add red wine.
To the pickled cabbage.
Right. As opposed to adding I would normally use about a cup of vinegar and about a quarter cup and a half a cup of lemon juice for the acid. But when it's really fancy, I would just use a whole bottle of red wine.
Oh.
And so what I did was, instead of using all of the vinegar and the red wine, I used the
you just
mulled pepper jelly.
Oh wow.
The mulled wine
Mulled
pepper jelly.
wine. And speaking of mulled wine, Chef also made his version of the mulled wine. You can't see it through the mug and everything, but it's one of my favorites. It's also something that he loves as well.
Yeah.
And I'm just having a blast with this.
So this is the pickled red cabbage with the mulled wine pepper jelly incorporated.
Mm. Pickled red cabbage.
It's very good, room temperature or hot,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an excellent side.
Mm. Pickled red cabbage. And this is also a first. I've never thought about using it on pickled red cabbage. And I guess these go well for vegans, you know, some people who don't like.
I will even let you know what I think they'll be good at. Like,
I love it.
cool.
Mm. Oh my. Chef. Oh my. Mm. I'm
it
sorry,
spicy?
I can't. I know it's lovely.
Oh, okay.
The flavor just you know, I have to close my eyes because
I
it's just
know.
so it just I'm telling you, it's and you taste everything. You get the wine flavor,
Yeah.
you get all the notes in it, and I love this even more than the mushrooms, and I don't like mushrooms.
Yeah. The key with the pepper, with the pickled cabbage is the caramelization.
I'm sorry.
So I have to add the pepper jelly right at the time when it's beginning to caramelize, and that way it will be incorporated more into the
Yes.
I
love
dish. And the third thing that
I'm
right,
sorry, but I
so-
have to finish the
Yeah,
plate.
by all
I
means.
have to finish my plate.
I get
goodness.
this for you.
Oh. Mm.
So the third thing,
Mm.
the third one that I chose was the cranberry
Mm.
pepper jelly. And let me tell you guys, I am big off of homemade products, and so I've had someone who made me once a cranberry chutney, which was really good, and I love cranberry sauce. But let me tell you, this is probably the best cranberry relish / dressing I have ever had. This is really, really good. And you can just eat it out of the jar.
Yes.
I can imagine this with a nice camembert cheese.
Oh yes, that's how I eat it. And a nice cracker, like
right,
a Cars
or
cracker.
a melted brie, and you would just melt this.
No, I didn't think about
and
that.
pour this over it, because cranberry and brie goes really well together.
Ooh. You
Yeah.
know, there was a goat cheese I had.
Yeah.
It had
It was
Fresh
goat.
Market had it, and it had the cranberries in the middle of it.
Yep.
And that was excellent with that.
This would go well with that too. And so when the easiest thing to do with some of these sauces, because they're so good, is to just make it as a glaze. And I didn't want to do that. But I felt like,
Oh my God.
what I did was I used it as a glaze. I added a little more vinegar and a tad bit more pepper, and I reduced it a bit, and I used it to glaze these wings.
Oh, so you use the cranberry.
Basically, as it is, I just added a little more vinegar,
Mm.
and I added a tad bit more pepper, and yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can actually, since it's a finger to do, I'm gonna show you. These are actually the fresh cranberries that I use for to make the cranberry pepper jam. All of my products are eventually going to be tested. So far, I've tested 6 of my products at an FDA-approved lab. 2 are are currently being tested at present. And so with Mama Sassy's, we look to set a standard where we're not just passing off any old thing to people. The passion that you put into preparing your dishes is the passion I put into making mine. And I'm telling you, I am so impressed with just these simple dishes, because they're simple, but it's just everything hits your palate so different, and that was what I chose.
I was really impressed with the mushroom.
I am too. And and like I said, I do not eat mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms.
When I take this trying to incorporate it, I'm saying to myself, let me see what it tastes like first before I use it. And when I tasted it, the first thing that came to mind was the earthiness of it. And so I didn't want that to be lost, nor did I want it to be overpowered. So I figured mushrooms would be a very good thing. Now, if I had my way, it would have been like a combination of mushrooms because we're in Freeport and stuff are so limited. But I would love to have done this with oyster mushroom, a combination of oyster mushrooms, chanterelles, cremini, and portobello. That's what I would have done with that to get really, really contrast.
And this is great.
Thank you.
This is great. I never thought to put cranberry on the wings.
Yeah.
Now the Guinness glaze, I normally use that with jerk. I was saying when I taste it. And when you add that to the jerk, like I tell people, it make you want to slap your mama.
When I tasted, the first flavor that came to me was jerk seasoning. And I was like, yeah, it does have a little jerk seasoning. It's really, really good.
Yeah, because I got the chance to go to a conference in Jamaica, and they allowed me the opportunity to sell my display and sell my products. And I took the Guinness glaze because Jamaicans felt they owned the Guinness glaze. I took the Guinness glaze, and when I took the Guinness glaze there, they were like, is this any good now? And I always like to give my guests patrons a sample of the product. I sold a few bottles, and the word got around like quick fire. And the next day, before the conference even started, I was already sold out.
That's awesome.
I was also featured in the Jamaican Gleaner as well with my products,
awesome.
you know. So, and for me, it was an opening experience, an eye-opening experience. The fact that you can take simple products that you put your love and passion into it to create these exceptional dishes that people can enjoy.
You know, you said something very important. What a lot of people don't understand is two people who are capable of preparing a dish, who are very familiar with the kitchen, can be given two exact recipes, and the end result will be two different things. And it's because, for the most part, you have to have a love for what you do.
Yes, you do.
You know, you do, and no one can really understand it, but you have to have a love for what you do. There are some times when there locally, the places shall not be named, but I went a few places and I was like really disappointed, like in the food, especially after spending so much money. And I realized that, hey, you know what? There's no love in this. So you have to have love in what you do.
So, if people want to get in touch with Chef Enoch, whether they want to have you as a personal chef or for you to cater their event, how can they get in contact with you?
Well, you can reach me on Facebook at Le Gourmet by Chef Enoch. They can also reach me by my email address. That's enoch.clarke, the number 4, at gmail.com. That's enoch.clarke4 yeah, that's how they can reach me.
Oh, excellent. You know, I am just so excited that you were here.
Thank you.
I got to taste your cooking, and trust me, you did not disappoint.
Thank you.
When I saw those delicious stuff, I'm telling you, I couldn't help, you know, getting all excited and stuff. And I thank you so much for you coming here.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen 3 dishes prepared by Chef Enoch Clarke. He has told you how to reach him. We will also be posting these recipes on our Mama Sassy Gourmet Foods Facebook page. Also, we're asking you to check us and follow us on RBNTV network on YouTube. So This is where it starts. This is where it is. And again, thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much, Chef.
It's my pleasure.
I am just floored. And it's just simple dishes that you just transformed. You know, some people think you need to add all these different things, but you just managed to put everything together so effortlessly in these simple menus. So, folks, this is what Mama Sassy's Gourmet Food is all about. Creativity, thinking out of the box, and coming up with delightful dishes to appease your palate. Thank you so much, and see you next time.
Thank you.
You're watching RBNTV. We are networking, promoting, we're scoring points for you, proclaiming, declaring, and to encourage you. No matter the problem, we will enlighten you. We hear you, please listen. There is a